Hey y'all, it's Day. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for us today. Very much looking forward to this reading. I'm not sure what it may be about. I want to move this cord out the way a little bit more. Angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm hearing the word garden, and the way that it feels like something that would be in someone's possession. So like if you have a garden, and that can be, it feels more metaphorical, like something that you're working on or something that you would like to see grow, something related to creativity, passion, growth, um, something like that, a garden. Let's see. So the top left of the spread, we have the 8 of cloves. Oh, not the cloves, I forgot. I just, to not guess these names, I'll get the clove and the other one mixed up. Interesting. So something about a garden. So something is coming up with this card saying like, if you look at this picture, it's really dark in the picture, so it's like about to rain or some kind of thunderstorm over a castle, looks like. It came out in reverse. The energy that I'm getting for it is like something about like some people may like get depressed being by themselves or spending time alone or something like that. But what it's saying is for you, it's kind of like your solace, like you find a lot of comfort and a lot of peace and a lot of calm being by yourself or being in solitude for what would be considered an extended period of time. So it's like you don't really mind it. Also, there is a reference to like sharing things with other people or connecting with other people, communicating, interacting with other people is something that like you enjoy, but feel you don't feel necessarily bad when you're not having these interactions. Like you understand the importance of being in a community or being a part of a community, but you're not really just invested in this idea of that you have to have connections in a networking way. You prefer your connections to be genuine, simple, honest, and not, there's an emphasis on like not feeling like pressured or social pressures regarding the interaction. So you may also like to have connections that are more one-on-one opposed to like a group of friends or a community of friends. So for whoever this reading is for, it feels like this person is more selective about the type of interactions that they choose to have. And this is just a reflection on the fact that someone is kind of like unapologetically um, okay with the idea of solitude or the practice of solitude and being by themselves. And the music that I'm playing, the like background picture for it, the lo-fi is like Homer Simpson sitting on what looks like the top of a building, or it might be his patio to his apartment or something like that, and he's overlooking like other homes in the neighborhood or buildings, and it's nighttime, so the lights are on, so it's kind of like a vibey imagery with blue and purple and midnight colors. But he's by himself and he's just smoking a cigarette. You might have seen it if you listen or look for like lo-fi videos. He's smoking and his eyes are red. Um, but yeah, like someone, I'm just getting this vibe of someone like they can spend hours by themselves. Maybe you're a smoker and just chilling, and like maybe you have a book or your electronic or like your pet, or just you're just by yourself enjoying the breeze. That's the type of energy that's coming through here. Then we have this card here which came out in reverse, and it's kind of like this messenger type of card. And the way that it feels like, and I'm hearing the word genuine, is it feels like this is a reference to whoever this reading is for, and it's speaking to like you'll like discover things by yourself, you'll go on adventures by yourself, you go at your own pace, and it's kind of like a slower, leisurely pace, like you're really taking your time in life, you're really like getting to know yourself, and you're able to move at a slower pace than a lot of other people that are caught up in so many other things. And then there's also a message of whoever this reading is for is like when they talk, um, they try or have intentions to like have meaningful conversations. So there's this element of there being a message in your conversations, or there's a message in your when you talk, like you like to talk of things that you feel like have substance or it could be beneficial. So there's something about whoever this reading is for having a gift or having a great ability to communicate, or being a message or a messenger through your communication, through your conversations with other people. And the type of gift that is giving me is more like through your communication, people like learn a lot from you just from observing you. People learn a lot from you just from interacting with you. People learn a lot from watching you, from being curious about you. So it's definitely giving me this like embodying feeling, like you know how sometimes when we learn things or we're evolving or we're awakening, like how some people can get into this energy of like knowingly, unknowingly, like looking down on other people for if they are not as woke or you feel like they're not as educated or whatever the case. Um, and there is this message of like we influence other people more effectively by embodying what we value or what we think is the pinnacle of how to behave, whatever the case. Um, it's something about like rather than preaching to people, embodying it would be more effective because people will see firsthand through your actions and then they will respect you more. Um, so, yeah, there's something about people witnessing you, observing you, just seeing you, or like I said, interacting with you, and it influences them. It's kind of like I'm also getting this imagery of like someone making an exchange with someone and kind of being pleasantly surprised that it was a smooth process, or being pleasantly surprised that everything worked out fine, despite their, what's it called, pessimism. It's like something about an interaction with you, other people realize that it's possible. They realize that there are good people out there. They realize that they can be understood just fine. Like for those people that are constantly around family member, friends, significant others that are constantly gaslighting them and have kind of discouraged their own perception of how they communicate. And it's like, so I'm getting like someone being around people or a particular person that gaslights them a lot, and then they just have this normal everyday conversation or interaction with you, and they realize that they're leaving this conversation and they're not feeling drained. In fact, they're a little bit inspired. In fact, they're a little bit optimistic because something about the process seems so easy with you, or it seems so logical with you. So it's something about like treating people the way that they deserve to be treated, or paying someone a fair amount. Like someone is going into a situation thinking, or they thought that they were going to have to really negotiate and be firm about something, and really prepare to stand up for themselves, and then they go into this bargaining interaction with you and you just offer them a fair deal, and they're just like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. And they're just like, I don't know, something that's very refreshing and nourishing and enlightening about interactions with you. And I think that's really interesting. And so it's kind of like after people have those experiences, it's kind of like they allow themselves to set a greater standard for their interactions going forward, or to address more firmly and more confidently interactions that they're going back to, like that situation of being gaslighted. It's like, no, I just had a very thoughtful and respectful and pleasurable conversation about a very complex or a very deep or a very sensitive topic, and they understood me just fine. Um, they affirmed me. They addressed my concerns. They listened to me. They told me something, and then I shared my thoughts, and they actually gave it consideration. And so now that's going to be the new standard for me. Now I have something to compare it to. So that was interesting. Okay. Interesting. So directly underneath this card where we're talking about someone's reflecting on how them being alone or being in solitude doesn't make them feel a way, like a negative way, that they really be chilling and they really be in their own vibes and they feel a lot more peaceful and a lot less stressed out. Directly underneath that, we have this card here, which is depicted as a bird in a gold cage. So with this message, this is also reconfirming this idea of this person realizing that they have been limited, because not everybody, like a lot of people don't even realize that they're limited, or they've convinced themselves that they're okay with it. Like that's just how it's always been type of vibes. Like that's never been done before. This is the way it's always been. This is all the way it will always be, and this is the right way and every other way is wrong. Someone is being given the opportunity to realize that their light has been dampened, or they have been dampened, their creativity has been dampened, their mobility has been limited for a long time. And it's kind of like something about their interaction with you is really refreshing and made them feel human and made them feel worthy of respect. And so now they kind of like, they want to take up more space now. That's what it's feeling like. Directly underneath that card, we have this card here, which is like a fancy tray or plate of different spices, next to some containers that look like, I don't know if that's an urn or a teapot, whatever, but it's like a little fancy setup here. It's coming out in reverse. Sorry you can't see it because I am not able to adjust my light right now. Wait, was it upside down? Yeah, it was upside down. So, you can't see the spices on this tray. It's different, like 20 different spices with different colors and stuff. It's like someone is realizing that they want more variety in their life. It's like they want to experience new things. They want to try new scents. They want to have a different experience. They're realizing that they have been settling for a lot less than they deserve, and their life has been very limiting. Next to that, we have this card here. Just like a fountain area with fish kind of congregating around each other. So with these fish, it's giving me this feeling of connectedness, or having a genuine friend group that you can connect with, or you can share with, that you feel like an equal to, that you feel like you matter within the group. It doesn't feel like you're trying to like squeeze in between the others. It just feels like your place is there and your place will always be there, or like you're comfortable in that space here. And it just feels really good. It just feels like being valued by others, feeling valued by others. Again, being seen as equal to the group that you're in. Like imagine if these are your friends. It's just like nobody's really just fighting for space. Everybody has their own space and their own angle. Okay, so on the far right of the spread, we have this card here. It looks like a priest or some kind of person. It's the Four of Pentacles. Mm-hmm. So under the deck, undercurrent energy here, it's like looking outside on your back porch or patio, front patio, and it's nighttime and you just see the stars over the water. So someone just wants to feel at peace. They enjoy solitude again, but they don't really feel alone, like they don't. And I'm just getting this energy, like if someone likes to go outside specifically at nighttime, or to get fresh air, to look at the water if they're near water, or to look at the stars, and how peaceful they feel at night doing that, and especially being by themselves. And it also feels like they're not stressed about relationships that they have, any relationships, familial, romantic, platonic. They're just like so happy that they're not stressed about that stuff anymore. Okay. It feels like there was a time where they felt very unseen, unappreciated, like nobody noticed them at some point in their life. It's not really specifying like if they were in a friend group or family group or anything like that. It's more focused on whoever this reading is for, but it's just bringing up that at some point someone did feel very unseen. They did feel like nobody cared about them, that nobody saw them, and that nobody was interested in them. That made them feel really bad. That made them feel very lonely. Next to this card, we have this card here. I'm seeing with this card that this time period is when they really started to get curious about who they really are and get really serious about the direction that were wanting to go in and the reason why. Something about this solitude or the period of time that someone was like alone, that they kind of decided what they wanted to do with their life. And I'm seeing that's when they started getting guided. And on the right of that, we have this card here. Like a bouquet of flowers outside the window. Looks very beautiful. That's when they noticed that they started to grow, they started to bloom, they started to realize who they were, They started to see themselves for as they should see themselves, and they also started to bloom, realizing that their personality was starting to bloom. So it's going back to something about this person being by themselves and then realizing that they don't mind being by themselves. How they have or are having the opportunity to just grow and really just love themselves or see themselves in a beautiful light, to see themselves in a positive light, to see themselves from a perspective of growth, to appreciate themselves from a perspective of unique quality. So that's beautiful. And now I'm hearing the word pivotal, and now it's just like, now they see their significance. Now they know their significance. Now they prioritize themselves. Now they feel a sense of purpose. Now they are extending themselves through self-expression, whether that's their appearance, their style, their personality, their confidence, their career, their gifts, their talents, expression. And now there's an emphasis on them feeling like they're on the map. And there's this energy of like, sometimes we can be a background character in our own life. How sometimes we can play a background character in our own lives when we should be more of the main character in our life. That's the energy that's getting. It's like something about this experience has made this person like, instead of like feel like they're looking at the map, they can identify where they are on the map. It's like it's like something about their perspective of life didn't include them, or they were not in the picture. It's like it's always external. It's always what is on the other side of our eyes, and it wasn't ever about what's going on in our immediate environment. And when I say immediate environment in this particular reading, I mean like our aura, our body, our mind, our perspective, our concern, our interest, our wants, needs, desires. So like not being so focused on everyone else, but keeping the focus on ourselves. So again, with this map scenario, it's like they're looking at the map and they're like, oh, Virginia, oh, Dallas, oh, Wisconsin, oh, New York. But like they're the whole state of Texas, and they're not like it's like the state of Texas not considering itself a state. That's what it feels like for some reason, and I don't know why that example like came out like that, because I feel like it's weird, but that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like a portion of the map looking at the map but not including their portion. So again, it's like Texas looking at the rest of the United States and not really considering itself. I don't know. Let's see. Angels, guides, and truth and love. Thanks for the love. Thanks for guidance. What do we need to know? What do deck, undercurrent energy. Yeah, this card here looks like two men on a boat at night time. Okay, let's see. So we have two pentacles here falling out on top of this card we talked about, where your spiritual team is acknowledging that now you are starting to see and witness yourself bloom, whether it's your personality, your confidence, your appearance, a career, all that we named earlier. It's like you're witnessing and now you're starting to have an appreciation for your style, for the way that you do things, for the way that you grow, for the way that you have developed and are continuing to develop. For the Two of Pentacles falling out on top of that in the resistant position. But it doesn't feel resistant at all. It's just like you appreciating yourself. And I'm hearing commercial vehicle, so that means move for me. Someone having the ability or the opportunity to move from one stage of their life to the next. And there is this significant feeling of like a reminder to appreciate yourself and to confirm and reconfirm to yourself that you are growing, that you are developing, that you are blooming, and valuing that as a fact, to use that as a stepping stone and to further like draw in this fruition. So like if you're trying to gain confidence, like reminding yourself that you're confident, especially when you are accomplishing things, to solidify that knowing so it can be a part of your character is going to be very important. So on top of this card we talked about earlier, where it feels like someone is or will be a part of a friend group or a community of some sort, where they feel like they fit in, they feel like they're welcomed, they feel like they're respected, they feel like they don't have to have fear or be afraid of their spot not being there anymore. They feel appreciated and seen. On top of that, we have this card here, which is some keys and a door. I think that's the Eight of Pentacles. And I'm hearing commercial vehicle again. I'm just getting this feeling of contentment. And with the keys to the house, that does or can feel like contentment, like having your own home, getting the keys to your home, feeling accomplished in some way. It can symbolize a form of security as well, feeling secure within the relationship. So as it's falling on top of this card with the fish, I'm interpreting it as something. I'm hearing a gold mine. Something about this friendship or this community and you feeling like you fit into it and respected within it, feels like a treasure or an accomplishment or an opportunity, a grand opportunity. So, going back to the message that was coming up earlier in the reading about someone reflecting on solitude and being okay with that, and in fact, like feeling like they prefer that, and there's this emphasis on them not wanting to feel guilty or shameful that they feel okay being by themselves. And towards the bottom of the spread, we're talking about someone finding a group, being a part of a group, and it just feels natural. It feels like, oh, it feels like respect is given, like they don't have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops or have to deal with unnecessary things just to be a part of the group. Because we were talking about earlier, um, another part of the reading is like someone has an interaction with you, for whoever this reading is for, and they just feel like, wow, it could all be so simple. Like, I I'm okay with this person being in my energy type of feeling. So I think that's very significant that someone who is content with being by themselves feels like they're going to be presented an opportunity to find a friend group or a community that they can be a part of that they don't have to feel stressed about. And I think your spiritual team is wanting you to be open to receiving that opportunity, to be open to that experience, and not shut it down or close it out just because you are okay. You have kind of like mastered this idea of solitude and being independent. So, quite interesting. Your spiritual team is also bringing up very clearly that you will still be able to maintain um, a characteristic or trait that you value so much, which is your independence. You value your individuality, you value your independence, you value your image, you value your interest, you value the direction that you would like to see your life going. And your spiritual team is also bringing up that, like, you will still be able to maintain that within this friend group, within this friendship. And that is important. So that card is coming out directly underneath this Three of Cups card that came out in reverse, where we were talking about after that conversation someone or interaction that someone had with you, they realized that after they went back to their regular life or regular interactions, they realized that they haven't been being treated the way that they deserved and that they can demand more. And most importantly, the interaction with you gave them the confidence to, like, maybe they always thought that or felt that, but they weren't confident in asserting it or expressing it. But now, after the interaction, they do feel confident in that, and they no longer want to live this life or lifestyle or have these interactions where they feel oppressed, they feel repressed in their emotions and their ability to communicate or express themselves. So with this card coming out underneath, it's kind of like you give that experience to someone else, and you're also being presented the opportunity to experience that for yourself. And it's something about going back to this idea of embodying and how we can teach other people by our doing, not by our saying and our preaching. That that the way that we treat others, like, it can enlighten ourselves, or we can enlighten ourselves, or we can bless ourselves. We can bring in new beginnings and opportunities for ourselves just by having those practices. And I'm hearing the word return. So it's like the energy returning back to you. The energy that you give out to others returning back to you. And I'm hearing the word quality. Okay, and then right next to this card, we have this card here, looking out the window at what looks like a park with a tree. Oh, there's a boat out there too. Oh, that would be beautiful. Hmm? No, I don't have it. I'm getting this feeling of someone feeling relaxed and at ease with who they are and the interactions that they have going forward. Um, it's like whoever this reading is for may have felt in the past like that they had to be like uptight or stiff to like be around the people that they were around. Maybe they were just stressed out about other people's perceptions or something like that. And it's bringing me this feeling of like being confident in being yourself, like feeling free. It's giving me this energy of like being on vacation, and how like something about being on vacation, or maybe if you had good moments in during your childhood that you could remember where you just weren't really just worried about anything. Like if you ever remember a time in your life where you didn't feel burdened, it's kind of like that. We're going on vacation, or we're gonna do something fun. Like I don't have to worry about anything. Think of like how you felt like when a teacher didn't give homework on a holiday, which is really rare, but I'm just saying like a teacher that didn't give homework over Christmas break or Thanksgiving break. It's like that. I'm free, like I don't have to be self-conscious of myself. I don't have to be stressed out, because I can be myself because I'm with my group of people that I'm meant to be around. Okay, we also had this card here. I think this is the Ten of Wands. It's a bear in a courtroom. Yes. So this card was coming out next to this caged bird, and it feels like it was something like an elephant in the room, regarding like interactions that you have had in the past where you felt repressed. Like you knew that you felt repressed, you knew you didn't feel comfortable, but you may have not had the vocabulary for it. You may have not had the like anyone to validate or affirm what you were experiencing. Um, narcissism is a word that's been trending for like the last 3 years or so. So it's kind of like being in a narcissistic relationship or an abusive relationship. And then after you learn about narcissism, you just feel more equipped. You feel seen. You feel like, okay, there's a name for this. I didn't know what I was feeling or what I was going through or what I was experiencing, but like this is exactly that. And you know what? I think I need to see somebody about this, like that type of energy. So yeah. On the far left of the spread, we have another messenger type card. He has a letter with a heart on it on a tray that he's presenting. Imagine being presented your mail on a tray, bruh. It's coming out in reverse. Something about invitations. You may not be accepting invitations, or you may be very selective about the invitations that you accept. It feels very particular. Something is coming up about romantic interest as well. Like, you may be particular about romantic interest. You may be particular about if you decide to go on a date with someone or not. You're trying to intentionally make yourself available to quality invitations. Okay, on top of this card, we're talking about someone being able to maintain their individuality. Oh, this card came out again. It just feels like someone values themselves and they meditate and they have creative time. They make time to be creative. They make time to meditate. They make time to pray. They make time to manifest. They like sit under the sun. Like, they sit outside on their porch or patio and like intentionally go outside to get air. It's like someone has like, it doesn't have to be spiritual, I don't think, but it kind of feels like some kind of practice where they're just like by themselves meditating, listening to music, out at night getting fresh air, something like that, that is like their relationship with the divine. Okay, so we have this card here coming out in reverse. On top of that card we just talked about, we also have this card upright right next to it, and then we have this card here. It's like a ring with some kind of fire on top of a pillow in reverse. Okay. So I was hearing broken promises, and then I was hearing remember. And it's like something about like what you're meant to experience in life, what you were always meant to experience in life, what you were to grow, to understand. Nourishment. And so with this kind of like garden card and the ring with on the pillow with the fire, it's like I was hearing broken promises. If it just feels like there's a lot of things a lot of things we're meant to see, things we're meant to do, things we're meant to experience in our lives that a lot of us are not experiencing or haven't experienced because of like just things that happen in our life. We get caught up in our life, we have experiences, and we close opportunities off, we close doors in our life. So going back to this energy of someone's like, I'm fine with being by myself, where your spiritual team was like, that's fine, but just don't be closed to having better relationships, because now you're equipped, because you value yourself more, because you've spent time by yourself, you've gotten to know yourself, you've witnessed the changes in yourself, the growth in yourself, the significance in yourself. You are the authority of and over yourself. So now that you know what that looks like, you can partake in opportunities to have friendships and interactions and be a part of a group and a community. continuing to exercise your knowing and your faith in your value and your significance, and allowing new opportunities to be birthed, to be experienced, and to not allow yourself to continue to miss out on the things that you were always meant to have. So underneath the deck, undercurrent energy is this kind of like lovers type card. It came out in reverse, so it's like you not entertaining connections that are not of substance or of quality or of genuine. Genuity? Genuity? And then at the top of the deck we had this card here. She's looking in a mirror while her friend is at a desk doing something. Knitting, looks like. So there's this energy of like always keeping yourself the forefront of your story, or keep yourself the main character, being able to maintain that level of confidence and security. Like in this picture, she looks kind of like obsessive though, because she's just like staring in the mirror, but this is just a second, like it's just a picture, so who's to say how long she has been. But I have read it that way, of like there's like this over compulsion or obsession with looking in the mirror. But I'm not getting that feeling for this reading. It feels more like keeping yourself the forefront, valuing yourself in the face of others. Like, yeah, standing true to that. So yeah, I love that for us. Let me ask to close this out. Is there anything else that we need to know regarding this reading? Is there anything else that we need to know in closing? Nice. Our spiritual team is saying that to continue to be loyal to your craft, continue to be loyal to your interest, continue to be loyal to yourself, like stand up for yourself, stand on business if needed about you, like when it comes to you. So like not allowing anyone to like change the trajectory of your life or to be influenced unnecessarily. And then we have this card here. It's a fox running away with a bird. This always gives me like thief vibes, or like something being stolen away. It's like, so there's this double energy of like, don't allow others to steal moments, experiences, opportunities away from you, and don't steal it from yourself. Don't take it from yourself either. Don't dismiss these opportunities. And with that, underneath that comes out this card again, the fish card, representing this community of people that you're meant to interact with. And then at the top of the deck, undercurrent energy, this card came out again. So it's a new birth, a new opportunity for new relationships, and being open. That's what's up. So yeah, you guys, if you received the message, like the video so that I know that the message was received. Check out the link in the comment section. If you'd like to learn more about my readings, you can do so there. And that's pretty much it. Bye, y'all.